You tuned in to Weighted to Win. We're looking ahead to racing from the vaal. We're racing on the standside track, of course. Weighted to Win, proudly brought to you by Betway, the sponsors of the Spring Spree. That will be contested at Turpentine on Saturday, and that really heralds the start of our feature season, which heads up to the Summer Cup at the end of November. Also sponsored by Betway, who have raised the stake up to a whopping 6 million rand. And before all that takes place, of course, the local league gets underway on the 14th of September. Proudly brought to you by Betway, and it's worth a whopping 900 million rand. It's going to be a new start for local soccer. But let's talk about the established. Let's talk about a star in his own right, and it is Mr. Mareed. Let's welcome you. 13 past 12, a bit of an odd time to start racing, but obviously you've got to fit in other programs from Australia, from the Northern Hemisphere, and so forth. But once we get into race two, that's off at 12:05. It's the start of the bipod. Good morning to you.
Morning to you. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Looking forward to race number one. If if races were run on pedigrees alone, we've got some well-bred sorts. The Fire Burst, that is okay, only two-time winner, but looked to always be one that could have won a few more. That is well backed, or at least shortened in the betting. 6 on a jet plane. This is a half sibling to Ronnie's Candy, who won so many graded features in a short career, and then of course 7 Shadow of the Moon, Cape Flying Championship, but Dice, and this is a half sister.
Yes, extremely well related fillies over here. Fireburst, the dam was the champion Equus 2-year-old filly of the season. She won the Alan Robertson grade 1, and I think she won the SA filly sprint too. So, yeah, I've included her in the opening leg of the bar pot. Number 6 on a jet plane. I think the booking of Lewin Kloppy indicates that she might need this effort. I'm not 100% convinced. There's no comment in the front of the computer form for numbers 5, 6, and 7. Number 9, Mr. Matchett said, will need the run. Now, number 7 is a sister or half sister. She is to Dice. But being by Lancaster Bomber, I'm a little bit wary over the 1200. So I've gone with numbers 1 and 5 in the opening leg of the bar pot. Number 5 being the first timer. Number 1 being the exposed race runner in the race. I believe she's got the best form coming to this race. She's got the fitness, she's got the draw, beaten a long way by a filly who could be well above average last time out. So 1 and 5 should suffice.
Thank you so much, Mr. Marie. 1 and 5, of course. Hey, Julia was beaten by Bakwena, first timer from the stable of Jon Janssen van Vuren, ridden by a visiting jockey. So we can say now Keegan de Mello on his way back to Hong Kong soon, and one with a ton in hand. That's the first leg of the bipod, 144 Rand, the outlay. We stay in a 3-year-old company, newly turned 3-year-olds. They contest the tab Telebet 08 600 0822 maiden plate over the 1200 meters. A field of 12 cotton. And this juncture, this is Wednesday for Thursday, all 12 take up their places. Now, just having a quick overview of the betting. It's a first timer that is taking part of place in the betting, 2-1 about the 7. That is Chariot of Fire, Lucky Udalakis, and the ownership of Jan and Linda Stakehoven. They had a great 2024-2025 season as owners, and hopefully it continues for them. The 1, that is 1 and all 5-2, big improvement after gelding. The 6, Captain Clever, 5-1 sixes and better bar those. Mr. Marie, just before we go any further, let's just clarify. I thought fell into the same trap. Number 6, Captain Clever. In the book, it says ran a second that was 12 and 3/4 lengths to Bay Empire. But if you go on the normal form guides, for instance, form grids, was actually third behind Bjorn Einstein. Pray tell, what is it a typo? What is it?
Bjorn Arnside was subsequently disqualified from that race. But, so in fact, he did run third. He was only 5 lengths behind Bay Empire.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. Now, in that race, he showed a lot of pace. That's number 6, Captain Clever. He was actually pacing it out with Bjorn Ironside on that occasion. Even going through the 400, he was alongside him. He just gave away very late. My concern is he finished alongside a horse called Mojave Man, who doesn't have the strongest form. But
That's
he's
the
been...
way of my
Yeah. But he has been gelded subsequently. And he's only having his second start. So he's got a lot of scope for improvement. I'm bankering number 1 in the opening leg of the place accumulator. I loved his comeback as gelding on that occasion. When he finished second, he pulled well clear of the balance of the field. The winner and himself were, I think, 4 odd lengths clear. of the third place runner. He was staying on stoutly. I know he'll be better over further, but I think he's going to strip fitter, and I can't see him missing the top three in this lineup. Now, there has been support for number 7, another son of Captain of All. Now, the Dam, there's a lot of stamina on the Dam side. I think she won the Oaks trial. She ran a place in the Oaks. But there has been support for him. See if there's a follow-through in the market. Unfortunately, there's no comment in the front of the computer form with regards to his chances. So, like I said in the opening leg of the place accumulator, I'm happy to bank a number 1, Mr. Pettigrew's runner. But in the bar pot, I did back it 1 and all up with numbers 6 and 7.
Okay, there's a place accumulator. We've got 2 bankers in the first 2 legs. We'll get to that second banker in the first leg of the pick 6, and that's the 2. The outlay to that PA 288 Rand, and you've got to be on by 12:45 for the running of race 2. Right, still with us here on Waiting to Win. Looking ahead to Thursday racing on the old track, the Standside track at the Vaal. And of course, we are brought to you by Betway, sponsors of the soon-to-be started PSL. That is the 14th of September, and it starts off with that Tshwane Derby. That is Supersport versus the reigning champions and unbeatable champions as far as the local league is concerned, Sundowns. Let's get back to the racing. We're in a maiden handicap for race number 3. It's over the 1,600 meters, and in race 3, the 3 Captain Jim for a resurgent stable of Fabian Bib. Gavin Arena gets the ride, is in the red at 19 to 20. The 2 Red Legend is at a 2 to 1. 9 to 2 is the 1, a roll of the dice. 15s and better now. Red Legend reunited with Craig Zaki last time out. Marco was aboard behind 12 o'clock high, and the 1 roll of the dice, Marco is reunited with the corner speech runner. And then, of course, the 3 Captain Jim, first time aboard on the odds-on favorite for Gavin Arena. I'll leave it to you, Mr. Murray.
Yes, it is a handicap, so I think the favorite is a bit too short in the market, Captain Jim. A fair effort last time out. Another son of Captain of All. He steps up to a mile now. He's going to strip fitter. The furthest he's been in the past was over 1,500, also in a work riders event, and he was staying on in the latter stages. Had a look at his breeding. He's a brother to Safe Harbour, who was a miler, so I don't think the trip is of any concern, but that second buyer form line worries me. So I can see him featuring up here, but he's far too short in the market. Now, what happened to me up here, Cecil, is you'll see how costly my pick 6 is.
Yes.
It's close to 2,000 Rand. And I had 6 runners in this race. So I ended up bankering number 2, Red Legend, right?
Yeah.
And then I had to go back and adjust my PA and my bipod, because how can I bank a Red Legend in my pick 6 and not bank it in my PA or my bipod? So all my perms changed. But what I can say is last time I'd Red Legend put a line through that run completely.
Yes.
He was cleaned up at the start. Marco did well to stay aboard him. In his penultimate start behind final try, I'm also a little bit skeptical about that form line. But what I can say is who came from that form line and who did damage to us over the weekend was a horse called Forster Dieu.
Yeah.
Forster Dieu finished 2.5 lengths behind Red Legend and came out and beat.
Bus stop in Hounslow.
Correct. All the doubles went pear-shaped after
I
that.
could actually feel you from afar going, oh no,
Yeah.
it's going to be a long Saturday.
So, it's funny enough, it's the son of Red Ray's first run up the straight, and I think that will suit him. If you're not convinced in bankering him like I am, I'm not convinced, but I have. You could include Roll of the Dice, but Roll of the Dice is held by Gamer. Gold Fever could be a sneaker because this is a handicap.
Yeah.
How's it put? You know, the dam stayed. There's equipment changes. Blinkers come off, a tongue tie goes on. How's it put is my second pick. Let me put that out to the viewers over here. I am bankering number 2. I have respect for a lot of others. In order, 283145.
283145, and that is Mr. Marie. And the first leg of the pick 6, a reluctant banker in the form of the 2 Red Legends. Yes, just a reminder that Saturday you'll be seeing a lot of Betway signage at Turpentine because they do sponsor the Spring Spree. That is an open listed event, and that sees 1 or 2 likes of Chivana facing up in that particular feature. However, we're in studio and we're looking forward to Thursday racing, the precursor to Saturday. And here we have a runner coming back from a lengthy 611-day rest. And it goes without saying that Aziz, Mike, and Adam have certainly hit a very rich vein of form. The last time a Poets Warrior, the 4, was seen was 611 days ago and was beating the likes of Banner Bridge by 5 lengths. Hasn't been at the track for so long. And then the other big news is that number 9, Kudzu, is a scratching. Now, Mr. Maria, I had a sneak preview of your jackpot and interesting selections, and both of them, in fact, should fight out the finish. But it's one of those races that could also have a banana skin.
Yes, let's just touch on the pace of this race. Sugar Blast, Flying Bull, Poets Warrior, Weather Wizard, they're all gallopers. So I think the pace will be genuine. Sugar Blast returning from a 3.5-month layoff, carrying 62 kilograms. I had my reservations. Poets Warrior been off the track for close on 2 years. When I opened the book, and did you touch on the form update?
Form update, yes. Just the 5 Melighew finished 9th, and that was Saturday at Turvenine, and that was some 7.65 lengths behind a certain King's Express. And it must be said that Melighew drifted on that occasion from 3-1 to 11-2.
Yeah, so when I opened the book, I thought Melighew would come out. But then I've seen Mr. Van Vuren has scratched Kudzu this morning. And
it's not the first time Kudzu's been scratched in recent times. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
And at the moment, Melighew is still lining up. So if I've only gotten 2 numbers in my jackpots, let me just put it out there that I originally had 4. I had numbers 3, 5, 6, and 8. Now, funny player, he's not the best mover down to the start, and he has had quite a few runs on top of each other. So watch him in the canter past. He was unlucky in his later start. He was caught very wide around the bend, so it wasn't a bad effort. A little bit wary of that form line. Now let's touch on Struenskar. Now he's a nice son of Patala Palace. He's actually proving he's going to be a very nice stayer in time to come. He's improving with each and every start. Did pick up a slight penalty last time out. I think that's going to be a deterrence whatsoever. SK, he's a man on a mission.
That's right.
And he will want to keep the ball rolling with Mr. Van Vuren. So I like his chances. But let me just point out something over here. Last time out, right, he was beaten. Well, go back 3 runs, sorry. He was beaten 3 odd lengths by the Brief, right, in receipts of 1.5 kilograms. Beaten 3 odd lengths. Have a look at Imperial Master. In his penultimate start, he was also in receipt of 1.5 kilograms by the Brief. He beat the Brief. So if you're using the Brief as a line horse, I'm going to be leaning towards Imperial Master over Struenskar. So I'm going 3 from 6.
All right, so that is 3 from 6. And could it be another case of deja vu with a Stu Pettigrew runner getting the better of Struenskar after Mount Darwin? Had that honor recently. We're off with that first leg of the jackpot at 11 minutes to 2, 13:49. Well, the first word that comes to mind when you talk about race 5, this is the first leg of jackpot 2, is that it is going to be trappy, henceforth right up until and including race number 8. Now, 1,500 meters is the trip for this merit weight at 66. And Sinjin Grey Muzieni, well, it's well documented. They have struck up a very, very, very fruitful partnership. And Muzi stays aboard Risky Business, who's back on the stand-side track to make it a 3 victories on the trot, and that is a 28-10. Horse runner that certainly looks to be just about ready to win is the 3 Kalida from the Waishong Mowing stable, 3-1. Zombomba, the 8 ever consistent, 9-2. It is 10-1 and a better bar those quoted runners. Well, the handicapper is not allowing Risky Business to win unhindered. Now 2 runs back when winning on the classic track, rather. That was a 56 of a mark of 56, is now off a mark of 63, and that's after winning on the stand side track over the 1400, goes over the 1500, but renews rivalries with the 3 Kalida and is 3.5 kgs worse off for that 1 length beating.
Yeah, so for that reason alone, I'm a little bit surprised as to why Risky Business is favourites. Because Kalida's 3.5 kilograms better off. On that occasion, he had the worst of draws, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was dropped out towards the back of the field. He was racing 3 wide. Everything went wrong for him. So he should, on paper, definitely reverse the form with Risky Business. Now, last time I'd Risky Business stayed towards the middle of the track. There was a group up towards the inside. I think Mika's Bomb was in that group. But at the finish, she was extending. And I don't think the extra 100 meters is going to be a concern whatsoever. She does take on open company over here. She's in good form. Yeah, but at the weight, she certainly has to raise her game to confirm that form with Khalida. Now, I've backed up Khalida in the PA with Zoom Bomber.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Marcus on a very fit corner space run over here. Last time out on the poly track, there was a lot of pace in that race, and Marco actually had to use this horse up a lot to get him to the front. I thought he did well to stay on for third. He's got natural pace up the straight at the Vaal. Marco will be on pace. He can fight out a finish like this. And then Caliburn, this son of Karari tends to overdo it in his races. So the fact that he's coming back down in trip, and have a look, his ratings come down 4 points since his last run, should see him feature over here. So I went numbers 3 and 8 in the PA. However, in my jackpot, I added numbers 2 and 5. So I've got 2, 3, 5, and 8.
All right, so you can see that Darren is a bit skeptical about Risky Business making it a 3 on the bounce, and that is your favorite, but not first choice for Darryl. All right, so we're into the last leg of the first leg of the last pick 3, rather. That is the race number 6, last leg of the bipod. Racing today, merit rated 80. It's over the 1500 meters, and it doesn't get any more competitive than race number 6. We've got the newly turned 3-year-old of the 13 Shinto Shrine, last seen finally getting that maiden out of the way. Is at 7-2, a horse that it beat to win that maiden and subsequently came through to win is number 6, Deception Pass. 4-1, 8-1 is the 1, Nordic Rebel. 8-1 is the 2, Rock of Bismuntova. It's 17-2 and better by those. How about this, Darryl? 25 rides, 8 wins, 4 seconds, 2/3 and 2/4, and looking to make it 9 wins aboard this 11-year-old son of Rebel King, that is Nordic Rebel. And we're talking about Gavin Lorino, who's already achieved something similar with the Zeus, whom he's partnered to 10 victories in his career.
Yes, and Mr. Verdenese is flying at the moment. So he has had a small break since last seen. Top weight. Listen, Gavin's going to produce him as late as possible. Yeah. Whether he can get there in time remains to be seen. But just when this combination team up, you have to put them in your bets. Now, Shinto Shrine interests me over here. He's a lightly raced 3-year-old. He's his own biggest enemy at the moment. You're right, because he gets left at the start.
Yeah.
Now, let's just say, I think in my mind, it's easier getting left up at the Vaal straight to make the ground than on the inside track at Turfentine. And I was very surprised that he got up in the latter stages last time out. He has raced up the Vaal straights in the past. That was in his second start behind a very nice horse in Grand Crescendo, who came out and ran 3rd in the Premier's Champions Stakes.
That's right.
Behind VJ's Angel. He's as high as a 114 at the moment. This son of Danon Platina, number 13 Shinto Shrine, could have benefited from the time off, given him some time to strengthen up. And I think he could be well ahead of the handicapper. On paper, there's very little separating himself and Deception Pass. And they're both lightly raced, but I do have a preference for Shinto Shrine. Now, Laughing William last time out with Danish was one with a little bit in hand. He's drawn towards the inside. I've included him because I don't know where they're going to go up the straight. He could get nice cover from Whispers of War. So things could go his way. And then a horse that interests me over here is Run for Cover. Now, when Washong books Pierre Stradom, they've got a high percentage strike rate. Yeah. Possibly in need of his last start last time out. Going to strip fitter. Pierre up the Vaal straight, he's got all the experience in the world. And if he can track the right horses He'll produce this horse at the right time. So I've gone in my shortlist 13, 3, and 8. But you can see in my jackpots and pick 6, I did add others.
All right, so that is race number 6, Ameritrade at 80. We're off with that first leg of the last pick 3 at 5 minutes past 3 on a Thursday. All right, so we're heading into that first leg of the last double race, number 7, our penultimate event on the stand side track of the volume. We drop all the way down to 1,100 meters for this take a bet, a winner number merit rated 80 once again, this time over that 1,100. And favoritism is with the Fabian Abib run at 11, Warmer Winter Night. Gavin back aboard at 3 to 172 is the 3 Secret Chord. The 4 Vegas High Rise 5 to 1 along with the 5 Coppola 5 to 1. It is 7s and a better bar those. Now, Mr. Marie, and again, I'll give you a chance to laugh because you haven't smiled too much this morning. Oriental Bouquet, something eye-catching about that last run, and that merit rating is tumbling down. I don't say can win it, but I dare say back end of trifectas quartets.
Okay, that's interesting. It has tumbled. I'll give you a juice for spotting that. Yeah, she's a filly. Taking on the boys over here. Let's see how she goes. Maybe next time out we'll have a closer look.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cecil, there's so much collateral form over here. Capola.
Yes.
And Warm Winter Night. Nothing separating them. Vegas High Rise, Warm Winter Night.
Your friend Rattlebag is back.
Who's that?
Your friend Rattlebag is back down in distance again.
Yeah, she's the mare.
Uh-huh.
I haven't included her. I liked Vegas High Rise's latest victory. He quickened up nicely, and in his penultimate start, he was very unlucky. So I think that was a deserving victory on his behalf. Gavin's aboard Warm Winter Night picked up a slight penalty for his second last time out. The same can be said with Secret Chord, picked up a slight penalty for his second last time out. He's done nothing wrong since being gelded. Staying on last time, extra 100 meters in his favor this time around. Yeah, I don't want to separate numbers 3, 4, 5 and 11. I'm hoping they can fill the trifecta position. I'm not confident, and I'm not willing to put my neck on the line over here. Just box the 4 of them. Let's hope we can show a profit.
All right, 3, 4, 5, and 11. Secret Chord looking for that third win from 4 outings. That is after breaking that maiden. Vegas High Rise back-to-back with Manisela Cacheta. The 5 Coppola. That is Mark Holm, who's got another run at the Vaal, and then Gavin Arena and Fabian Abib with 11. Warm Winter Night, and that's an outlay of 24 Rand for a full unit in that trifecta box. All right, so we're going to bring the curtain down on a Vaal racing on a Thursday at 20 past 4 with a merit rated 63. It's over the 1100 rather again. And here we've got the 4 Dancing Dora, who's done everything but win in the last 5 outings. And Chase gets the ride this afternoon. He's got a bit of success on Dancing Dora, 15 to 4. Number 2 Together again, 13 to 2. Number 3, Oh My Gucci Go, 8 to 1, 17 to 2 is the ultra consistent number 8 Samoa. Has a 95th outing this afternoon, or Thursday afternoon, and has Gavin Larena aboard, who's actually very successful on this 10-year-old. Right, let's just touch on that form line, penultimate form line of the 2 Together again. One of the most laughed at form lines, but it just keeps churning out winners. We saw Far Reaching recently also come out and win. That Cartagena came out and won, and you could go on and on.
Yeah, it certainly proved me wrong, because I would have taken poison that was going to be a weak form line. So I'm going to be Dutching horses in the back. You said I haven't smiled and been jovial all day, but I've kept the best for last. It's just touch on my third pick, right?
Okay.
And that is Written in Stone. Now, I love the way he quickened up last time out. He's drawn towards the outside. I don't know if that's going to be favorable, but I think he's moving better in his races, and at the 400, he was already in contention. He was climbing all over them. So I think he's in a good space now. Number 6, Written in Stone. But number 1, Paz Platinum, my top pick in the race. You know, recently in interviews, we've heard from Striker Stratum saying that the going is even all across the track. And have a look at this Son of Karari's rating. From a 78 right down to a 63. And you know what I can see happening over here? Striker drawn 1. Dart to that inside running rail. the same as what SK did on John Wick.
Yes.
And hopefully he's on his bicycle. I think with this rating, Striker knowing him better, he's worth a nibble at 12-1. So I'm going to suggest a win bet on number 1, Prize Platinum. But the danger in my mind could be a 33-1 shot in Time to Shine. And he is number?
That is number 12, I believe.
Number 12.
Yes.
Now, firstly, I believe he's much better up the straight. His last run was around the bend. In his penultimate start behind Grand Crescendo, he didn't stay. Have a look at his races up the straight over the minimum sort of distance. He finished close up beyond Munchkin off a 62. He's right down to a 54. And I'm hoping he can track Striker on that inside running roll. At 33-1, you have to have a win bet on him. There's a lot of value about number 12, Time to Shine. So 1 and 12, hopefully they fight it out. You know what? We've been lucky in the past recently, so let's hope we can still strike while the iron's hot.
Thank you so much. So Prize Platinum, Striker, just the 2 rides. It is a run for cover, Waishong Mowing and Striker. And his last ride is Prize Platinum. And then, of course, the runner that has had a lot of airtime from Mr. Marie is a 12 Time to Shine, who at the time of the off to race number 8 could be much, much shorter than the 33-1 currently on offer.